Hello. My name is Zoopaville, aka Caleb, and today I'm going to be teaching you that I am an influential guy, okay? I've exposed scammers. I've put my entire life's work into this project, and this man is essentially taking it hostage at this point. I've toppled regimes, and by God, I've meddled in elections. Someone fucking arrest me. Someone put me in jail. I've also interviewed some of the most controversial figures on the internet, like quite literally all of them. Pyro is absolutely thriving, and he's also a goddamn furry, so I interviewed him. Basically, that's where we're at. That's where we're getting to right now. Ever thought about cold turkey? I think about it a lot because I love sandwiches. But when it comes to breaking habits, cold turkey is not that simple, nor is it really, it's traumatic, kind of. Cold turkey is sort of traumatic. Fume is a game changer in how we approach habit transformations. New word, look it up. Fume isn't about taking everything away, it's about substituting something bad with something better. Imagine this, a device, no electronics, pure, delicious, flavored air. Fume is all about the natural switch, trading harmful chemicals with delightful, all-natural flavors. Plus, there's a base, a cool weighted stand thing that lets your fume spin. It's perfect for desk fidgeters like me. Fume has adjustable airflow. I actually have so many of them laying around. I actually bought this one. They didn't even send it to me. I do this a lot. It's movable apart. It's got a little cool magnet, man. You can keep your hands busy. It's legitimately a cool product. I use it all the time, and I genuinely like this thing. They want me to say that I was skeptical at first, but I'm not going to say that because I wasn't skeptical. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it looked cool, and I give a bunch of them to my friends and stuff. It's actually a cool thing. There's a bunch of sweet flavors: raspberry, lemon, sparkling grapefruit, black pepper, etc. Crisp mint. Switching to Fume isn't just easy. It's also enjoyable. There are 150,000 other people just like me and you. Start your epic journey today. Use code Oompaville for 10% off. Click the link in the description to support the channel or go to tryfume.com/Oompaville. I'm not that influential. I'm just a guy. I'm just a normal guy, and you probably should stop watching this. But I did interview Andrew Tate. I believe it is important to have conversations with people that are heavily disagreed with to find out why. And to be honest, I think we found out a few reasons why in today's interview. It was very entertaining. Which is really weird to think about now, especially after all the arrests and the crimes. It's been a long 2 years since I spoke to the man.
Prosecutors in Romania have filed formal charges against the controversial influencer Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and 2 Romanian associates.
And this is basically a retrospective. I've been thinking about this a lot, like, oh my God, dude, I interviewed that guy.
How you doing, man? You got sparkling water or what?
Who do you think I am? Of course I do.
And yeah, it's been a long ass time. I wanted to make a retrospective type video because it's a fucking crazy moment in my career. I mean, the dude is literally a legend. And I don't mean that in like a positive way necessarily, but he is unequivocally a legend. Like, he is a very famous individual. Bruh. And I feel like at the peak of his fame is when I interviewed him. Somehow I fucking tweeted at him and he was just like, yeah, sure, let's do an interview. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Now let's see how my takes and his takes, let's see how they've aged. All right. Let's see if Andrew or I are the same people that we were back then. I've gotten worse. I've gotten a lot worse. I've gotten a lot more closed-minded, bigoted, rich, taller, more handsome, hot girlfriend, and he went to jail. My interview with Andrew Tate was on July 22nd, 2022, well before Andrew's first arrest as of December 2022. Multiple arrests since then. Lots of bad news for the guy. At the time, I didn't really think that he would be in jail a few months on, but at the same time, there were all the trafficking that existed at this point of Andrew Tate in the zeitgeist of the human mind, the human consciousness. It wasn't like that was unknown news. This was a thing. I actually asked him about it in the fucking interview, and he explained it in a way that made it seem like he wouldn't get arrested a few months later.
A girl called our house at a party. Her boyfriend noticed it was our house on Instagram because she did an Instagram story, and he obviously follows us, our content. He said, you're at the Tate's house. She responds saying, yeah, but I don't want to be here.
Okay.
Some female excuse. Her boyfriend, the beta male, blows up her phone, has a mental breakdown, calls the police saying my girlfriend's being held hostage.
But yeah, anyways, this was before a lot of the really big stuff. So it was a pretty candid conversation. It was different. It was back when he was more of just like a, oh, haha, funny, you know, douchey, kind of really rich, manly guy who's clearly taking advantage of idiots, selling courses to them, whatever, but he's not the only person to have ever done that. At least he's got some funny clips and shit, you know, he's bald and whatever.
What kind of full-grown adult deliberately, not on accident, deliberately eats sushi? I caught my brother ordering sushi to the house. What the fuck is wrong with people? There's no power in sushi.
If we now begin with the interview, you can see that I was aware of the negative things being said about Andrew Tate, and I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to put this up my channel or not. I didn't really think it was gonna be that bad because I had a specific reasoning, but I did make a disclaimer at the start of the video. I was like, hey man, I don't really want to get in trouble for talking to somebody, so I appease the masses or appease the master, whatever anybody wants to say. But in reality, I just don't want to be seen as a misogynist because I am not a misogynist, and I don't want to be seen as someone who is abusive to women because I am not, and I don't want to be associated with any of those claims or the things that were that were there at that time with Andrew Tate, but weren't as popular as they are now. That's kind of like the whole thing now.
Now, before we begin, it should go without saying that I am not a misogynist. I am not a homophobe. I am a bit of a glutinist. Anything that falls under those categories that is stated by Andrew Tate, I do not agree with. I feel like that should go without saying.
I was just trying to learn about him. That was my goal, was to learn what gives him so much of an allure. Why are so many people obsessed with him? Why is he blowing up so big? Then yeah, we had a pretty cool conversation. But of course, it started off, he was late. I sat there for 30 minutes with my cigar and my cool fit, sitting there as an autist waiting for the fucking alpha male to show up to, you know, put me in my place or whatever.
Andrew Tate interview, more like Andrew Late interview. Got my sparkling water, got my cigar. Can't be alpha'd, all right? Also got sunglasses because I predict he'll be wearing sunglasses. We'll see though.
I will say, looking back, for someone who prides himself on not wasting time and has a plethora of clips in regard to this point.
People who say it's only a week are the people who are broke.
They don't value time.
That's the reason you're all poor, because you say it's only a week. So, oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it later. It's only an hour. It's only a day. It's only a minute. You are competing against people like me. We do not waste a second. So I had to make a decision. And I decided that as the oldest man in the family, it's more important that I achieve financial stability for all of us than to go and pay respects to my father and his funeral, because I paid respect to him every single day of his life, and I pay respect to his memory every single day now, and I pay respect to him by being monumentally successful.
He sure did take a whole fucking lot of time before making it into the call, which was set up well before. I mean, I was in contact with him for a long time. Gee. Now we fast forward to interview proper. All right. Andrew leaned into his notoriety almost immediately and referred to women as slaves. His slaves, specifically. Now that is based, and that is red-pilled.
Yeah, I thought, I can't do a podcast with a cricket noise.
Yeah, of course not.
All of my women are asleep. So I had to find it myself. So I've got it here just for the world to know and for all future crickets.
Right.
You get any ideas? I don't know if the camera could see it. I will find you. And you will die.
He has like this candor about him, like this like comedian type thing he does. He's very funny. He tries to be funny. He says things that are funny, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. At the time, it was a lot funnier than it is now. And by the way, unknowingly, I immediately punished him for referring to women as slaves. So you're welcome, ladies. You know, I did it. I got him banned from Twitter almost immediately. I asked him about his Twitter page, Morpheus, and Tara put it on screen. And as a result, his Twitter got banned.
So I have a question for you. So I saw you tweet today. By the way, your name is Morpheus on Twitter. That's an interesting choice of a name.
That's not me, bro. I don't know who that is. That must be someone pretending to be me. That's definitely not me. I'm not allowed a Twitter account, so I definitely don't have
right. Yeah, you've been banned. So some alter ego of some kind.
Something weird
pretending to be you. Yeah, it's not. It's maybe just Morpheus. Maybe it is him.
It might be the real Morpheus. Yeah, I think it might be.
So you guys can come at me all you want for platforming him, but I'm the only person to actually have gotten him deplatformed. His Twitter was deleted the exact same day, or one day after, 24 hours after Romanioid time. I'm not the bastion of free speech you think I am. My goal for the interview, first and foremost, was to just be entertaining and try to be funny as possible and let people form their own opinions and thoughts, which is what I try to do a lot in videos. People just think that I'm a fence sitter, which I am. 100%, because I think that there's merits to, you know, a lot of different perspectives and approaches to to things, and like I can't, who am I to believe one certain specific thing that's like so complicated and complex that I, you know, don't understand a lot about. That being said, there are some things that I do believe entirely, like, you know, having like women, that's wrong, you know, that's not good. You shouldn't do that. Being nice to your parents, if they're nice to you, should probably do that. Having an armory of firearms on the floor splayed out, that's crazy, isn't it? I asked Andrew Tate the trolley question. I proposed a moral quandary to him, maybe one of the most widely known moral quandaries, to get a baseline of his sense of moral obligation at the time. I didn't really know a lot about him. The only really shit that I'd seen about him is funny stuff on TikTok or his interview with fucking Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky, which I thought was really funny. I thought the dude was doing a bit the whole time. I'm stupid. The trolley question. Interesting little topic there.
I think about morality a lot myself, not in any sort of higher intelligence way. I just think about the word because it sounds fun to say. So I have a question for you, right? There's a trolley coming down the tracks, and ahead there are 5 people tied to the tracks and are unable to move. It's a morality question. You've seen these before. You've probably heard of these. The trolley will continue coming and will kill the 5 people. There's nothing you can do to rescue the 5 people except there is a lever. If you pull the lever, the train will be directed to another track which has 1 person tied to it. You have 2 choices. Do nothing and the 5 people will die, or pull the lever and you will kill a single man. What would you do?
I've obviously heard this question before.
Of course.
As you'd expect, Andrew Tate expressed that the creator of the trolley problem probably thought that they were very smart, but he personally didn't feel tied to the scenario and would do nothing because he doesn't care. He would allow the 5 people to die.
I found it particularly puzzling. And the reason why is because I think whoever wrote the question, as smart as they thought they were, I don't really feel tied to the situation. Like, they would have to compel me to feel responsible.
Okay.
So in said scenario, I guess my answer would be do nothing and let 5 people die. But not because I chose that it's better to let 5 die than the 1 guy. It's just more like, there's 5 dudes tied up. I didn't tie them up. There's a train coming. I ain't driving that train. I'm just being me. I'm hunting crickets. I'm smoking cigars. I'm walking down the street.
Yeah.
Doing my thing, being rich.
Right.
Now there's this scenario over there. Hey, look, those people are tied up. Look, a train's coming. I'm very much like, that ain't much to do with me. Like,
okay,
that's not my problem. Like,
right.
Issue. Hey, but Andrew, there's a lever. If you press the lever, who the fuck are you? Don't come talk to me about levers. I don't know you. I'm on my way somewhere. I got stuff to do. I don't think I'd run over there like Superman, get involved, analyze the scenario, understand the levers. Like, it just feels. Okay, like I don't.
It's a waste of time. It's not making you money. Who the f cares?
I definitely wouldn't do that, but at the same time, would it be, you know, if I saw it, like, it depends on how close I was to it. If I was seeing it, I was like, oh, that's fucking terrible. And then it also depends on who's in the track. If it's someone I know, then obviously I'm letting them fucking 5 fuckers ride. I used the trolley question to break the ice a little bit because I was not really nervous, I wouldn't say, to talk to him, but I was like, what is this gonna, I don't want to be Aiden Ross. I don't want to be any of these people. I want to try to be fun, but in like a, you know, I want to ask him questions about and stuff like that's, I gotta ask that, obviously, and pilking and whatnot. The next question I asked him is that if he stood by the statement that men can only cheat if they are in love.
I have a lot of questions too that some of them you might not want to answer, to be honest with you. Men can only cheat if they are in love. Women cheat just by talking to a man because they're emotionally invested. Do you still believe that men can only cheat if they are in love?
He expressed that women are emotional creatures and can cheat by just talking to another man, but men in general can have sex with women and feel nothing because it's possible for them to do anything and not form an emotional attachment.
I absolutely not really believe that. I think a man having sex with another woman who he doesn't care about is not cheating. A woman cannot have sex with a man she doesn't care about. If she can, she's a fundamentally broken woman, and she's not the kind of woman you want to associate with anyway. When a woman cheats, it's an emotional decision. If a man cheats, it's a purely physical decision. I think that when we talk about cheating, you're talking about love, you're talking about relationships, you're talking about the infidelity within inside of the relationship. And if a relationship is based on emotion, then emotion must be involved in the infidelity.
In the interview, it's basically his way of expressing that sex with a woman you're not in love with is just exercise, not treating.
If I I'm in love with a woman completely and I sleep with someone else who I don't care about, that is not cheating, that is exercise.
Okay. Walk is like using an elliptical versus doing a bench press. You see it that way.
Women have a bunch of toys, right? They use toys. Is that cheating?
No.
It's purely pleasure without emotion, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, that's what I call hoes.
Then on to one of the most viral parts of the interview, which is the fact that an autist interviewed Andrew Tate. Me, the autist, a young boy. I was beating my head on the floor a lot and not caring about the things around me, and Asperger's moment.
I have autism, just to be honest with you. But yeah,
Okay.
so
Just like, stop.
yeah, okay. I have Asperger's.
Okay, you have Asperger's,
Yeah.
which is a form of autism, correct?
Right, yes.
But autism is a very, very large scale.
It's a broad spectrum, yeah.
There we go. Boom, shakalaka. Brought this up to Andrew Tate. He's like, well, that's me also. We uncovered the fact in the interview that he is also potentially autistic.
What do you do that's not normal?
I would say people talking to me who I am in direct vicinity with on a consistent basis, my direct family members say something to me and I do not care and I have zero empathy towards what they're saying, or if people I don't know, like if people don't come to me with their problems because I don't understand, you know? What is that what you got?
Gee, how come I don't give a fuck either? I don't care. Oh, what happened to Mary? Oh, what? There was 5 people on a train track.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Fuck. I don't care.
I do care though. Yeah, I try to care. I mean, I like tried it because these people that are saying I have a problem, they are expressing that as a negative thing, and I'm just like, there's nothing in my mind that makes me inherently care. So I don't know.
I want to do the test again. I want to get an actual administrative test as an adult. It's different as a child, I'm sure. I feel like I'll still score pretty high. The internet me is not the same as the real life me. Just in case you were wondering, guys. Just in case you were wondering, I do have a level of self-possession that allows there to be a difference between my real life and my fake life. It's sacred. My real life is sacred, and I like to maintain it that way. I'm not a character. I don't say things that I don't believe.
Tate claims as a baby he never cried, not once. He writes, as the doctor held me upside down by my heels and my right fist in my mouth as I suckled. The doctor pinched my thigh to get a response and I growled, knitting my brow and trying to crane my head up to see who had attacked me. The doctor paled, shocked at my defensive powers. I did not cry. Yeah, not crying tends to be a sign of autism in babies. Imagine being so autistic, even the doctor's scared.
When I asked him if he still stood by the idea that women are property, he said yes. He said that his sister is the property of her husband.
Do you think that women are property? And that's something that a lot of people have asked me as well when I told them I was going to be talking to you. Like, he's a fucking sexist, bro. Why are you talking to him? You're just going to be fucking elevating, putting him into the limelight. And I want to know. Like, I just want to know what you think of that. Obviously, what you think is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to your response.
Sure. So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes.
He then cited that at a wedding, a father gives away the daughter. It's symbolism for passing ownership because a father owns the daughter according to ancient laws or whatever the where he's pulling this from. I'm not really sure. And then he also says that women are property in the Bible and Quran, which is true. My favorite books.
When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
That is something that happens, yes.
So you're giving her away, correct?
Yes.
Does that not sound, at least in some way, semi-related to property at some degree?
Some form of ownership, yes.
Form of ownership. Does the Bible say the woman owns the husband owns the woman?
I believe it does.
Does the Quran
Yes.
say that the man owns the woman?
Mhm.
Yes. So this is all ancient, right? All the things I'm saying are things that were largely accepted by society forever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything which is really, truly even controversial. The whole world agreed that the woman belongs to the man when she decides to give herself to a man.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think women are property? Comment down below. Come on, what are you fucking waiting for? Comment down below. Tell me. I was fucking waiting for you to comment. You fucks. We learned right after this, not that long after, the idea of women being property and the idea that women are objects of sexual pleasure did not age well for the Tate brothers, to be honest. Because people who do not believe that women are objects don't really tend to get arrested very publicly for human trafficking.
Andrew Tate and his brother have once again been detained in Romania. They are being held for 24 hours on sex offense allegations after police there served arrest warrants that were issued by the UK. The charges stem from between 2012 to 2015.
I then proposed another hypothetical moral quandary to Mr. Tater. This is the scenario in which you're running away from a village of people who will kill you if they find you. You have a small child with you, and the baby's going to cough to reveal your location. Would you run the risk of the baby coughing, or would you pop the baby's? I don't know what you would do, really, how you would do that, really. You would have to eliminate destroy the child. That's what you would do. Destroy the child.
You, your baby, and your entire townspeople, so you have your greater family, right, your clan, are being chased by a band of bad men. They will kill you if they find you. You don't have any weapons. You don't have any way to defend yourself, even though you are Cobra Tate. Okay. All of you decide to hide in a secret place and are silently waiting for the bad guys to move away. However, you know that your baby will cough and the band will hear him, or the baby will shit or cry, whatever the babies do. They will find you, your baby, and the townspeople and kill all of you. You have two choices. Kill your baby and save yourself and the entire town, or let your baby cough and risk, you know, some kind of, just like an alien with a laser, let's say. So we wouldn't be able to do anything against it. Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't.
Guess what he said. He doesn't think within the Matrix. He doesn't believe in this hypothetical moral quandary because he could stop any threat. All right, he doesn't care. He knows how to handle anything. He just fucking yaps about how big and strong and how much of a big chungus he is. He's got a really long and thin. I've seen it. There's videos of him having sex with women.
I'm never that guy who gives myself 0% chance.
Okay.
So once again, it's difficult for me to answer these questions because I know for the sake of the question, I need to believe I stand 0% chance. But I just like, I live my whole life.
Yeah.
These scenarios you're describing, I live ready for them.
Okay.
Like here, okay, bro, it's 11 p.m. for me.
Right.
I just finished dinner. I just drove home in my Bugatti. It's copper in case anyone was wondering what color it was. I'm doing a Twitch stream. My house has armed security. I have about 6 armed men outside. I'm on a Twitch stream by myself.
Right. Strap.
Like I stay ready. Like I'm never gonna be that guy who ain't ready. You understand? So it's difficult.
He eventually does concede that he has a masculine imperative and he would never harm his baby, which is, that's a rational thought. Same as well. I would never, yeah, obviously. I mean, clearly, child more important than my own life, of course.
So imagine somehow I'm not ready for conflict, which is impossible.
Yeah. Right.
And somehow I don't stand a chance, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy.
I believe I would find a way to beat them. Have you ever seen the A-Team?
Yes, of course.
So you know they get like a rake, half a piece of sheet metal, some leaves, and they build a tank?
Yeah, right.
You know,
That'd
like
be
we're
you.
high, he's gonna cough, but like I've got a whole 15 minutes and I'm the tank. But if I couldn't pull that off, then there's 0% chance I would kill my own baby. No, because I believe that I have a masculine imperative, and the masculine imperative has a bottom line. And the bottom line has to be the protection of my progeny. It doesn't matter if the whole town dies. It doesn't matter if we all die. It doesn't matter if the baby dies anyway. I cannot make that call.
Okay.
When it's on the line and I have to make a call, I have to make a call which is true to my morals, my morality, my duties.
Now, Mr. Tate, that's a bit ironic, because don't you think masculine imperative is a form of programming? For a guy who rails against social programming or the Matrix.
What footwear do I use in the gym? What do I wear to squat the bench?
Or whatever these dorks do. You know what? When I was a pro fighter, when I'd come in the gym and a mirror say today's weights day, I basically considered that a day off. I was like, thank it's weights day. That means it's basically a rest day. I have to lay on my back and do this. I ain't gonna get punched in the face. I ain't gonna fucking run up hills. None of that shit. Just lay down and move it. These guys think that shit's training.
I trained so hard, bro. I did bench.
Fucking bunch of pussies. You could never have been through what I've been through.
Seems like your appeal to programming that cannot be overwritten is just like a bit of a quandary in and of itself. Mr. Tate, Mr. Potato, Mr. Tate, got nice skin. I'll give him that. His bald head. I'll give him that shit. Flip the question. He said he'd girlfriend. He wouldn't the child. He was his girlfriend.
Alternate bit to the same question. It's your girlfriend, not a baby, and you know she's gonna whine or something like that. What would you say then?
I mean, they're a lot more disposable, aren't they?
I figured you might have a different answer.
No, but I mean they are. Like girlfriends can be, your baby can't be replaced. The girlfriend can be replaced. But it depends how much you love her. It depends if she's gonna cough or something she can't help.
Yeah.
fine. But if she's gonna just like complain or something stupid,
Right.
then perhaps it would cross my mind.
Okay.
Like if she's not gonna obey, because that's a completely different paradigm, right?
He also says that a girlfriend is replaceable. You could just have more children though too. I mean, it's like not like, you know, people have had a bunch of children were really replaceable until pretty recently. It is at this point that things really start to cascade into a certain sense of irony. Looking back at this whole thing now retrospectively, I propose the prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma posits the potential situation in which you and a friend are arrested. One of you has to flip. If you flip, your friend takes the hit. If he flips, you take the hit. Who flips? What do you think?
This one's called the prisoner dilemma. You are a member of a gang, so there's camaraderie between you and your gang, your brothers in arms. Okay.
Correct.
You have been arrested with another member of your gang. Both of you are confined away from one another and have no way of communicating with the other member. The police do not have enough evidence to convict both of you with major charges, and instead they offer you and the other member a bargain.
Wait, are you just reading my life story or what?
Yeah, this one felt sort of personalized specifically to you. So we're gonna learn a lot from this, and I think I know the answer.
Here and done that. Carry on.
Okay, you have two choices. You will remain silent or betray the other member and testify that he has committed the crime.
Andrew was faced with a question. He said, of course, he would remain silent, and knowing that if this were the real world, his friend would also stay silent because he only associates with men of substance. And men of substance do not turn their back on their friends, which is true. I do believe that. But at the same time, a lot of my friends who are of substance don't go to prison. Or traffic women, or, you know, or they're not rapscallions, to be honest.
I have absolute certainty that he would never betray me. This is the thing about when you actually are a man of substance and roll with men of substance.
Okay.
It's different. I know these questions, like for the person who wrote that question, is probably sitting there and he thinks this is a difficult question because I'd rat on my friends because I'm a loser and my friends are losers and they'd all my girl behind my back if they could. They'd all steal money from me if they could, and I'm a loser and I go through life as a loser. They don't understand genuine.
Yeah.
Me and my boys and me and my team, I've never had a penny go missing. I have people I've shared bank accounts with for 10 years with 50, 60, 70 million dollars. Never been stolen a penny.
Okay.
No one's ever tried a chick. No one's talked to an ex. Like we went to war together. Me and my team, because I'm a man of substance, birds of a feather flock together. I just talked about this on another stream. Everyone around me is a man of substance. So when I sit there and I'm silent and they say, if you don't talk, your boy's gonna talk, I get to look them back directly in the eyes, knowing that my boy won't talk.
Okay.
So the answer is I won't talk because I know my team won't talk. So why would I talk?
Right,
You understand?
right. Yeah.
Anybody who is in a gang of mine, anybody who is associated with me lives by an honorable code. And these individuals would not turn. And for that reason, I would not turn.
And he also shares that this hypothetical scenario is bizarrely similar to a real world scenario in which he is dealing with. But look at him now. He's a free man in this video. Bit of a foreshadow moment. Oh my God, he knew he was going to go to jail. What the fuck?
So both of us would remain absolutely and utterly silent. I don't want to sit here and give too many details away because this is the internet. But that is actually remarkably similar to a few scenarios in my life. And here I am, a free man.
True, yes, free man. Surrounded by birds of a feather, and you guys are all flocking together, I'm assuming, right? You have a bunch of people in your compound?
I have a team, yes.
Okay, cool. I have a team as well, but my team's much smaller, and we all always wear shirts, really a lot. Like we wear like a lot. Are you the only one who's not wearing a shirt right now?
Do you know why I don't wear a shirt?
I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. One, it's not just because I'm built like Hercules. It's not actually why.
Right.
It's because this podcast studio used to be a bedroom, but the air conditioning is loud. So it ruins the podcast.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's another hot take, right?
Because all of his confidants have been arrested and they refuse to flip on him, even though because he's the mob boss. That's pretty much what it looks like he's saying, at least. Like that one guy. Oh, who's that guy at the fucking? Oh my God, I forgot. I made a video about him. Oh Lord, you're so funny. I love those guys so much. Not in like a brotherly way, but in like a, you know, like the way I love that little machine that has the little thing that comes down, you punch it and then it gives you a reading. What is that guy's name? I fucking forget his name, but he's like, he loves having sex with underage women and he posts about it all the time on Twitter. Joe Lampton, who is just way worse. He knew though. Him and his brother were arrested not even 6 months later. Andrew Tate says his jail cell in Romania is dark and infested with cockroaches and white. What? Dark? It's dark? That's That's scary. At about this time, I felt like I had built up enough of a rapport with old Tate to ask him the biggest question about the most serious allegation to date. That is the allegations of Andrew Tate women. And obviously, we know that that's been a pretty big problem.
Another negative one, right? And I have to bring this up because it's like the thing that everyone has told me whenever I said that I had an interview with Andrew Tate. They said, did you know that he is a what is the explanation of that? I didn't do any research on you, by the way.
Instead of giving us the full shebang on this whole trafficking thing, this whole trafficking nonsense, he linked us to a podcast, which was awesome. But he also gave a brief answer, essentially explaining that the trafficking allegations stemmed from a girl who was partying with them, whose boyfriend found out that she was hanging out with him, and he got really jealous. And she just said that she was stuck there to make her not get in trouble with her boyfriend, when in reality it was her boyfriend. And I don't really know if I believe that, to be honest. But
the girl who made up the story because her boyfriend caught her at the house and she was so stupid. I'll give you a very, very quick version. A girl caught our house at a party. Her boyfriend noticed it was our house on Instagram because she did an Instagram story, and he obviously follows us, our content. He said, you're at the Tate's house. She responds saying, yeah, but I don't want to be here.
Okay.
Some female excuse. Her boyfriend, the beta male, blows up her phone, has a mental breakdown, calls the police saying my girlfriend's being held hostage.
At this point, I'm starting to think that there was more to it. For example, that addressed a very small part of the serious allegations. The root of the problem was the whole cam girl trafficking business that he and his brother ran, and the way that he would hire these women and manipulate them, similar to the way in which Jack Doherty claims via text that he tricked his current girlfriend into signing an NDA that was actually an OnlyFans contract, basically fleecing her, scamming her. Very Andrew Tate-esque. Interesting. Allegedly! On Andrew Tate's deleted website, there was a page for a PhD program where Andrew said that his job was to get girls to fall in love with him and then get them to work when they were in love with him so that they would just do whatever he said. This podcast breaks down the website.
My job was to get women to fall in love with me. Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me, to where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so that we could become rich together. This is part of his own website, cobratate.com/PhD program. PhD, by the way, stands for, I can show you a reference of that too, stands for Pimping Hose Degree.
That's a crime, lover boy. Bottom line was, not that great of an investigator, I admit. I'm not that great of a detective. I didn't push that hard. I'll admit. I thought it was funny. I thought that shit was funny. I thought the whole thing was really funny. And then in December, and I was like, oh, I saw Willie Mack's video, and I was like, oh.
He has multiple allegations of assaulting his girlfriend, as well as a human trafficking investigation on him.
Run out my ideas. That's right, lock the door, you knew I was gonna beat the out of you.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, that's like, that's like irredeemable. That's not good. But looking back at it now, what do you guys think about it, huh? What do you guys think about it? Do you wish that I would have pressed him harder on the more serious side of the allegations? I do, looking back, but at the time, once again, I was just like, this is kind of funny, This is kind of funny. Not the allegations, obviously, but the whole thing that I'm sitting here in sunglasses, just a little white boy interviewing Andrew Tate. I just thought it was really funny. I'm a YouTuber, reaction YouTuber, interview. I thought that was hilarious. But what I think's funny, a lot of people don't. So I can see how you think that I was wrong. Do I regret it? No, I don't. I had fun. It's still a funny video, and it's not like I prevented him from fucking getting arrested or some shit. I quite literally deplatformed him off of Twitter. And on top of that, I don't think his answer was satisfactory because he was on house arrest, for 3 months, just a few months after that. I don't think that explanation to a situation would lead you to be so wanted by so many different organizations. And I don't think the Matrix is that real. I definitely think there are aspects of the Matrix that are real. I don't know, maybe if you know how poorly planes are built and you work for a company and then you whistle blow about that company specifically, you might get killed. Or if you do that in politics, you might get murdered and there might be like actual Matrix consequences. But usually it's not going to jail for when you were actually a fucker.
Prosecutors claim the Tates lured the women into sex work by engaging in relationships with them and then coercing those women into sex work. It's called the lover boy method.
After this, I asked him if he was a felon.
So I have another one. You are a felon, correct?
Incorrect.
His answer was quite a doozy of an answer, guys. He says that he's not a felon because a felon is someone who is convicted of a crime and does jail time. Then he proposes a hypothetical. What if he served jail time but was innocent?
A felon would be convicted of a crime, correct? And serve jail time, correct?
Yes, I believe so. That's the technical.
But what if I was innocent? What if I served jail time and I was innocent?
You
What if I served... What if in a hypothetical scenario, what if I've served jail time because I didn't talk, because I knew my boy wouldn't talk and I was just doing what a guy should do for his friend? Am I a felon by not ratting on my boy?
I think in the eyes of the law, yes, but in your own belief and heart, no. And technically, if everything was fully translucent, you could see every in and out, then no, you would not be a felon.
Interesting. It's almost like we're predicting the future here with the Oompaville interview of the autist interviewing Andrew Tate, because he did go to jail and he was put on house arrest, but he wasn't prosecuted for anything yet. He hasn't been prosecuted yet. It's pretty weird. Then he goes on a tirade about the Matrix and talks about the labels that people get assigned when they are a part of the Matrix. You get assigned the label racist, sexist, felon, autistic. That's pretty awesome.
I will not accept the label felon, because accepting the label felon is accepting that the Matrix labeling me. And the Matrix labels lots of people lots of different ways, right? They've labeled you with a condition. I'm sure a psychiatrist would label me with something and I'd completely ignore it. They label people as racist who aren't racist. They label people as sexist who aren't sexist. They label people things, and I don't believe in Matrix labels. So when you say felon, I'm thinking of somebody who goes out there with the intention of doing harm to other people, like robbing old ladies and breaking into houses, etc. That's not who I am. I'm a man of honor. I'm a man of courage. I'm a man of duty. I live by a very strong masculine imperative, which I'd never hurt a woman and never hurt a child. I'm not a bad person, so I refuse to accept the label of felon.
So the Matrix labeled me when I was 7 years old as an autist. This little fucker, he's a damn autist. Hey, what the Matrix did that shit? Are you kidding me? Are you slipping my d? All right? Are you twisting my sack right now? Are you tickling my what the You telling me that was the Matrix this whole time? I do believe it sometimes applies the term racist and sexist to people who are not racist or sexist. I've seen that happen before. I've been called racist before, and I am not racist. I've been called sexist before, and I am sexist. See, I can say I'm sexist. You can say that, and it's like kind of fun, not really funny necessarily, but it's not like bad. The Matrix hasn't gotten to that point yet. The Matrix doesn't care about women, I think, is what it's seeming like. Yeah, me neither, Matrix. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, girl. The only girl who watches my videos. I'm just joking around. I'm just fooling around. I'm just a guy. Just a fella. And after this, my favorite moment of the entire podcast, by the way, guys. Get ready for this shit. I asked him the classic, age-old question. Why are you bald?
Why are you bald?
And it's a fucking funny answer. He said that he shaves his head 3 times a day, and that if he wanted to, he could grow a head of hair as beautiful as mine. That's what he said.
I shaved all my hair off, and I'll tell you why. Because people make fun of me for being bald. Hey, you're bald. As in, like, I haven't noticed something.
Right.
Well, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I shave my head 3 times a week. Like, so I could grow hair back as beautiful as yours.
Thank you.
I'm not missing my hair at all. My hairline's fine. I could grow my I could have a full head of hair like Tristan if I decided to.
About that, he went to jail for a while, couldn't shave his head 3 times a day, and it seems pretty easy. It's pretty easy to see that he doesn't exactly. He may have been lying. He does not look like he has hair as beautiful as me, to be honest. Let's compare. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Look at that. That's a long chunk there. Holy f***. I need to get a damn haircut. I need to get a haircut, dude. My hair is much more beautiful than his. This is disgusting. This hair is nasty. My hair is thick, and I haven't washed my hair since 2023. He spent minutes defending his hair. He could have just said he has a thinning hairline. It's fine. Most men actually will eventually lose their hair. He's bald. It's just a stronger look. That's just, it's true. It's based in red pill. You've got this guy versus this guy. This guy looks a lot stronger, the shaved hair guy, to be honest. Towards the end, in another conversation, Andrew Tate sort of defends himself. Sorry, Mr. Tater. He says that he doesn't hate women or think that they're lesser than men, but he knows that they are better at different things than men.
I have an innate respect for women. This is what people don't understand. But I am just very, very aware of where their competence lies and where it doesn't. I say this in all of my podcasts. I say this all the time. I say women can't drive, and people say you hate women. I say, no, I don't. I think that men drive better than women.
I thought pretty well established the fact that if you are owned by another, then the inherent implication is that the thing that is owned is lesser. Okay, like my dogs, for example, they are worthless. I own them completely, and no one's gonna get mad at that. They're not gonna be like, those dogs need to be free, because everybody knows that dogs are worthless. But when you apply that to human beings, regardless of gender, what are you? George Washington? What are you? Thomas Jefferson? What are you? John Adams? What are you? James Madison? Just go down the whole list of all the founding fathers. Contradiction, you know, contradiction. He definitely thinks that women are lesser than him, or he wouldn't have, you know, them or whatever. He does say that he wouldn't take his children to a daycare run by men, and I wouldn't either. To be honest, if you do have a daycare run by men, chances are pretty high it'll be a business like Nickelodeon. And if you take your children to that daycare, they're gonna get fucking arrested by people like Dan Schneider and all the other guys.
If I would never drop my child at an all-male nursery, if I needed a nurse or I was sick, I would want.
Yeah.
So women are, all I'm saying is that women are better at different things than men, and men are better at different things than women. This is largely accepted in 95% of the world today. It was largely accepted in 100% of the world only 50 years ago.
Right.
It's not controversial on any level. All I'm saying is that men and women are different, and we're better at different things.
Men suck. Women also suck. Everybody sucks. The end. That's my point. I'm just kidding. I do. That's a solid point, though. I would. You know, women are definitely more suitable, in my opinion, for taking care of children, just in general. Met a lot of women, met a lot of men. I don't trust a lot of men with my children, with my dogs especially. Most of the women in my life are people who take care of stuff. They work in the veterinarian field, shit like that. I don't fucking know. And in spite of Mr. Tate making it seem like this is just a difference between genders, which I feel like most people can kind of agree on, at least to an extent. There's definitely, you know, there's a huge, massive overlap. You'd be ignorant to think otherwise. My mom, for example, basically runs my candy business. Kind of. She does a lot of shit, though, that I'm sure Andrew Tate wouldn't trust a woman to do. And she's my mom. She's awesome. She's incredibly independent. You know, it's just like, it goes without saying, to be honest. Tate tries to make it seem like it's just a difference between genders, but when you take what he's saying and you kind of compose it with the reality of the way that he employs women in his business and manipulates them into feeling like they have to do something for him, and that thing is camgirling for him, that's a pretty fucking grim picture we're painting here, which is a little scary, and it makes my stomach hurt. He's a very manipulative guy in the way that he communicates. You can really see it in retrospect here. I mean, I could feel it in the interview for sure. And there's actually something that I'll talk about that he said to me off camera that really made my hair stand on end. I was like, whoa, that's very odd. The final thing that I bring up in the interview, which I still stand behind, is that the advice that he has for young men is beneficial advice when viewed in a vacuum, right? You see these things and it makes sense. You're like, oh, that makes sense. And then you sort of conflate the truth of what he's saying with everything else that he's doing, which has now extended into king and, you know, arrests and allegations and just like this weird uber political matrix shit.
A lot of things that in a vacuum are amazing pieces of advice, especially for young men. Okay, like I genuinely believe that. But I think that a lot of the people that are seeing what you're saying, especially the young men who are a victim of TikTok, who are a victim of public schooling, who are a victim of having not poor as in monetarily poor, financially poor, but as in mentally poor, distracted parents who don't pay attention to their kids. They see you, they see the things that you're doing, they see how flashy you are, they see the sense of humor, they see the you know, the shit you have.
They'll take it out of context and use it negatively.
Yeah, they take it out of context. They take those things and then they just mistreat, you know, they do what people are afraid that you're causing. They do that, right? Because they're stupid.
And the water is now quite muddy, but then it was a little bit clear. It was definitely still muddied, but the advice that he does give, that he has given, is beneficial for some people. Like, absolutely. A lot of the shit that he's saying makes complete sense. Like this.
Really? You know what? So many women say to me, you're so, Andrew, you know what? You're so rich, but you're smart and you're actually very intelligent. And I know you'd get really bored of a robot. And I'm sitting there thinking, I wish to God you were a robot. You better shut the f up. We talk about star signs? Oh yeah, I'm so glad. Tell me more about by Sagittarius rising. Idiot.
Like this.
The world at large has told you, watch Netflix, eat the bugs, watch Disney, don't have a sword, don't walk around with a sword. That's what they want you to do.
Like this.
Only a cat-owning would complain to the police about a joke. Fine, you're upset you lost your cat. Fair enough, yeah, the joke may have been a little bit, risque. Who calls the police on a fucking joke? Cat owners. Cat owners are liberals. Cat owners believe in hate speech. Cat owners are Democrats. Cat owners are dickheads.
But there are a lot of other people you can idolize who say the same things and also actually live that life in reality and don't women. That's the main sort of point. Working out. Pretty easy to find people who work out to idolize.
I thought today we'll work on a couple of things, okay? Just straighten them out, a couple of routines and try to put them together like we've normally been doing, all right? We start in that position.
Being a man. Pretty easy to find men. You can find them in your real life. You find people with a successful family. I don't mean success monetarily. I mean a happy wife, a happy father, or 2 children that look up to both of their parents. That's a man. It's beautiful.
Some people eat a lobster like it's literally the last thing they're ever going to eat in their entire life. And they like, what's in here? Oh, and it's just like, God damn it. What are you doing? Oh, there's some still in there. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Get mentors like that. Don't be like Tate or the other guy. What is that guy here in my garage? What's that guy? You don't scam people. Manipulating people in mass is not something to idolize. Someone who can manipulate people in mass is not a good thing, all right? I still think that part is valid and I believe it. I see some things, on the internet that are said by really bad people and I'm like, well, that's, a completely true piece of advice. Or for example, a lot of the books that I read and shit, the people are terrible. They're terrible, but some of them have really good ideas. Some of these people have really good ideas that are easy to wrap your head around. The fucking founding fathers, for example. It doesn't even, it's like, once again, it goes without saying. It just proves over and over again that even if you look up to someone, they are imperfect. Human beings are not to be idolized. Human beings are imperfect. That's why we make people to idolize who are perfect, like Master Chief. Anyways, guys, what's happened to Tate now? A lot of fucking shit has happened. He had a back and forth with Greta Thunberg that was honestly pretty funny. Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. Yeah, this is a good one. I thought that was funny when I saw that shit. She said, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smallenergy@getalife.com. Not a bad comeback. Not a bad comeback. I've seen it though. It's long. It's thin. It's thin. It's not small. It's definitely thin though. Thank you for confirming via email address that you have a small Greta Thunberg. The world was curious, and I do agree you should get a life. He posted this pizza box in the thing, and apparently that's how he went to jail. Apparently that's how they got him. They nabbed him in this weird wooden room, this Minecraft house he's in, is because him trying to slam dunk on a child. I think Greta Thunberg's a child. Just kidding. I think Greta Thunberg's like 30 now or some shit. I don't know. It's pretty funny though. The whole thing was really funny. Andrew Tate, luxury villa, reportedly raided by our police in Romania. It was a Christmas miracle. It was a couple days after Christmas, I think. It was a funny coincidence. The whole pizza box thing. I feel like the police probably knew where he was before that. During the arrest, he was held in jail for 90 days, describing what was happening on Twitter for some reason, and it actually wasn't him. Turns out, because you can't have a Twitter access phone while you're in jail, it was his social media manager tweeting this stuff. I am in a cell. I have extremely limited freedom of action. Every single day, I do 500 squats, 500 push-ups, practice my tiger paw technique, walk 10 kilometers, write and complete lessons for the students inside the real world, read and respond to hundreds of letters. This shit is so fucking funny, dude. It's not even him tweeting that shit. I was awoken last night by an icy chill and identified a ghost in my prison cell. He was terrified and begged me not to annihilate him. I sent him back to hell with a message for the demons. I am always ready. Oh my God. That's so funny. Yeah, trying to wake me. Phone inside a cell without light. Cockroaches, mice, and bug bites are my only friends at night. When the guards bring me to the courtroom, I stay absolutely respectful. They try to put, it's like slam poetry. At the time, I thought this was actually him tweeting it, so it was just really funny to watch him rhyme from a jail cell. Pretty fucking cringe. But after this, he was released from jail and placed on house arrest for 5 months and was not allowed to leave, and his assets were all seized by the court. Then Tate and his bigger, more soft brother are accused of tricking multiple victims with false declarations of love and trapping them in Romania, making them take part in porn, which is a crime. They were officially charged with rape and trafficking, but the Tate brothers then countersue someone else, a woman from Florida, who they state was the reason for their false arrest. They sue her for $5 million. It wasn't until August of 2023 where he was finally appealed from being on house arrest after months of being forced to stay in his own home. Dude, that doesn't sound that bad, bro. Especially when you have a fucking compound. I mean, this doesn't seem like a good punishment. I stay at home for months at a time, and that's not even because of the courts. It's just because I don't like going outside. I get real anxious. Then, internet silence. It seemed Andrew Tate had disappeared from the internet. When in reality, it just became a lot more irrelevant. If you look at his search terms, I mean, I got him early on. I invested really early, and I sold right around here, right around the arrest. So I made out like a bandit, 10x, 100x, whatever you want to call it. Bada bing, bada boom. We go to January 2024 when the court overturns the decision to seize his assets and he gets all his loot back. Oh, wow, what a nice guy. And now we're here in March 2024, almost 2 years after my interview, which I like to think had a part in all this. I like to think that it's, you know, I played a major role. I'm kind of like the Stromboli to the situation here. I'm like the marionette player. I'm not the marionette itself. I'm the marionette guy. I'm the guy behind the curtain, you know, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't look that good. A warrant was issued by the Bedfordshire police calling for the Tate brothers to be extradited to the UK to a real justice system.
Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested by Romanian police and detained for 24 hours after authorities there received an extradition order from British police over fresh allegations of sexual offences between 2012 and 2015.
According to the warrant, it was in regard to an ongoing investigation dating all the way back to 2012 to 2015 and charges of sexual aggression that allegedly took place in the UK.
A few hours went by, but the court did decide to approve it, but to delay it and to delay their deportation until after a separate criminal trial into local offences made on Romanian soil was concluded.
Why'd they wait till now? That was a long ass time ago. That was almost 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Well, Aiden Ross, guys, this comes full circle. He shared with his stream of thousands of viewers that Andrew Tate intended to flee Romania.
Andrew had hit me up. He said, hey, I'm going to be leaving Romania soon and probably never coming back. If you want to come over and do a week of long streams and content before I leave, I think it'll be big. And I'm sorry, he said it's basically now or never. And
then crap. Thanks for the tip, Aiden. They were rearrested by the Romanian police. Wow, what a win, Aiden. Oh my God. I mean, he should be worried for his life now at this point. Aiden does get to hear from Andrew that he up pretty bad, but Andrew tells Aiden that it's okay, and he tells him to come down to Romania anyway to make some content.
I spoke to Tate, and I literally, yes, I'm gonna take accountability. Okay, I really up, and Andrew Tate's team confirmed that up, and Tate told me, right? I apologize to Andrew, and I'm really sorry to everyone else, his team and everything, but Andrew said it's okay. Come down to Romania and let's do some streams.
I think he's gonna get jumped and stuffed into a small sack. We'll never see Andrew Tate ever again, and hopefully not Aiden Ross. He deserves it, dude. He's a rat. He's a snitch, bro. He's like the new 6ix9ine of the internet. It's embarrassing. But it's okay, though. He doesn't need Andrew Tate. He hangs out with Jake Paul now, guys. That's fun. I don't really know what's going on now, guys, in all honesty. I just thought it was really crazy. I recently saw a clip of me interviewing Andrew Tate, and I was like, holy I actually did that. That's crazy. I shouldn't probably have done that, but I have no regrets. I think it was interesting. I think it was a good conversation. Things have changed drastically, obviously, for both of us. Me, drastic improvements, feeling better every single day. Feel like a new human being. Him, jail, rape, trafficking, which I didn't even know was a thing, being betrayed by people and shit. We live greatly different lives. Anyways,